Hello everyone, and welcome to Infused Transitions. I am so glad that you are here. We are going to be doing as you can probably see, a money reading today. And these are the decks that I have out here. I have the little reminders, the law of attraction, the angel's abundance, and money and the law of attraction cards. Also out here, I have a deck called On the Grind. I think it's Jennifer Aquarius Tarot, which I purchased on Etsy. These two decks, I'm not even going to try to pronounce this name, but this is how she has one of her shops on Etsy. And unfortunately, this person, they don't have anything on here to tell me. And I did purchase it on Etsy, but I don't remember the name of the shop. So anyway, these are the cards that I have out here, and we'll see what comes forward. I don't know if I will be using all of them, some of them, none of them, and switching everything. We will see. So anyways, I like to do that. In case you're new, I like to do that because it always drives me crazy when I see someone doing a reading and I just love a deck that they have. It's like I love the energy, the imagery, the messages, combinations thereof, or whatever. And yet they never say, you know, the name of the deck or the author or show the box cover. So I like to do that in case there's anything here that you see and you like it and you want to purchase it for yourself. You can at least look up the names and that kind of stuff. So that's my goal on doing that. Okay, so welcome to all of you, of course. And for our new people, we are so happy that you are here. We hope that you enjoy the reading. If you feel this reading isn't your reading, there are several that you can choose from available on the channel. All readings are timeless. So when you find that reading, that is the right time for you. For those of you who are returning, thank you guys so much for your constant continued support. I really do greatly appreciate each and every one of you. For my thumbs up people, I so appreciate you guys so much. That really does mean a lot to me, a lot. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to get started. I would like to make a suggestion. Obviously, it's up to you if you want to do this or not. Free will, free choice, and only do take in what resonates with you. Leave the rest. I would invite you to, take a moment, and you can pause to do this and then turn it back on when you're ready. But just really taking a moment anytime you're listening to a reading and get yourself grounded and centered and set your intention to be open to receive whatever messages are aligned and are for you. And sometimes, we can find a reading where it's like the whole reading may not be for us, but there's like a specific sentence or a specific concept or something, like out of the whole thing. It's like I needed that kernel, so yeah, I would say it's a good idea to be open to listening to things to see if you can find that there's something there for you. But with all of that said, take a few moments and just closing your eyes and doing these beautiful breath work of, you want to breathe in to the count of 4, pause to the count of 4, release to the count of 4, and pause to the count of 4 and repeat. Just do that anywhere from 2 to 4 times, whatever is comfortable for you. And then just going back to breathing normally. And you're just setting the intention that as you're doing this breath, you're getting grounded, you're getting centered, you're focused, and you're open and willing to receive what is actually meant for you and letting go of the rest. And it's just a nice, relaxing feeling. So if you wish to do that, pause the video now, do that, and then come back and join us. If you don't wish to do that, that's totally fine. With all that said, let's jump in. Okay, where are we going to go first? All right. All decks are always shuffled before they are put away. They are shuffled off camera when I take them out. And I try to remember to shuffle all the decks on camera prior to shuffling and using them. So just so that you're aware. Excuse me. So I'm doing this reading in front of some beautiful large windows. And I've recently moved, and it's really interesting seeing the diverse animal kingdom that is here, and some birds that I've only seen in pictures before I'm actually seeing in person now. And so it's pretty cool. It's just a beautiful, beautiful energy. All right. What messages do you have for us for today? All right. So this one came out like this, and I picked it up this way, which means that when it came out, it would have been in the reverse, and it was face down, and then this one was face up, which is very interesting to me. So we have organize for success. Do not let the word organize intimidate you, as it is simply a way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and work space, and your finances will help you know and plan your next action steps. Okay. What was face down in that and in reverse was do the work. So because this is in reverse, I feel like for some of you, maybe there's something you're wanting to accomplish with your money specifically, or maybe you're just wanting to overall, in general, have a better flow with money, a better relationship with money, have a better understanding of money or of your money. And it's, maybe it's just, it's called, I call it wishitis, right? You can sit here and wish and wish and wish and wish, but unless you're going to do the work, it's not going to change, right? It's like you gotta put in the effort. It's all of that, like, they always say that knowledge is power, and it is. Knowledge is power, but it'll always be just knowledge and awaiting power and an opportunity for power unless you utilize it and put it into action. So knowledge is power, but action of the knowledge is empowerment. So just food for thought. So we do have do the work. It's not enough to dream or pray. You've also got to take the positive action steps that you are being divinely guided to take. Consistently working on your priorities will make them flourish like a lush flower garden. So doing the work is going to be extremely important. And we are literally given what are our most current steps right now to work on. And, that can be getting organized. What does getting organized mean? What do you mean by that? Well, one, if you have beliefs, okay, because it's saying don't let the word organization intimidate you. Now, for some people, maybe it's not about intimidation. Maybe you're not even aware, but you could be holding beliefs around organization, trauma around organization, drama around organization. Maybe you don't even know what it is you feel about the word organization or the action of organization, but the bottom line is there could be blocks, limitations, and restrictions that are happening between you and this form of organization. I would also say let's take that apart even further, right? You could have, anxiety or, issues or whatever around organization, clarity, purpose, getting your thoughts together, like, okay, so this is what I think about this. This is what I believe about this. Your reports. So having that technical information, whatever that may be. getting your living and your workspace, organized and set up for the best flow in any given moment. Like for me, right, I'm working on this space right now because I'm still trying to find my flow and my groove in this new space, and trying to figure out when are times that I can, as far as times like lighting and daylight and all that, as to when it would be the best for me to do readings. And I don't have, professional lighting and all of that. So learning to work with the way things are. And I feel like that's important to say because, people can go, well, it's easy for you to say because blah, 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 blah. Or, yeah, well, those people, yada, yada, yada. So instead of, it's okay. Shh, shh, shh. Sorry, just a moment. Lady, hey, it's okay. She can hear the people outside, so sorry about that. She's doing her job. Good girl. Good girl. Over here. No, you got to go around. Go around. There you go. Good girl. Thank you. I got this, okay? Okay. Go lay down. Go lay down. We have a lot of traffic out front here, foot traffic, so it is what it is. And again, it's learning to work with those things that come up, right? Because there's always going to be things that come up. But anyway, so the bottom line is, I'm finding my groove. I'm finding where I can work. I'm finding, and so yes, I'm doing it here, and this is the table I've been working on, but it's in a different location within the home, and I've played with it to get my lighting to be a little bit different and things like that. So sometimes it's just a matter of, trial and error, what works, what doesn't, and that kind of thing. So being open. So each of those things, these different words, quite literally, I think are really good if you're like, well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, I don't know. Well, then find out. And how can you start to find out? Well, get your paper, get your pen, get yourself grounded, centered, focused, and relaxed. And then just literally say one of those words and tune in. Just quietly sit there and just start writing whatever comes to your mind. Don't worry about it making sense or being organized or being in order, but quite literally just write down what comes. And then after you're done, then go to the next word. And you just continue to do that while you feel you are in the flow. And if at any point it starts, and there's a difference. This is where learning to practice discernment, which is also very important for success. And again, is something that takes a lot of practice, a lot of trial and error, and learning from our mistakes, not beating ourselves up and judging ourselves for our mistakes. Learning from our mistakes and shifting to try something else and see, okay, so will it work if I do it this way? Or do I need to just not do this thing at all because maybe it's just not aligned, and let me put my focus over here then. So you can see it's putting thought into this, and you have the steps right here. You have words right here that you can hone in and tune in, and asking yourself, how do I feel about that word? What are my beliefs that I have about that word? What are things I've internalized throughout my life about that word? What have I been taught about that word? And here's the thing. Don't go blaming who taught you that. Whether they had the best intentions or the worst intentions is kind of a moot point at this time. The point is, this is what the belief was. This is what I internalized. This is la da la da la, right? So let me address this. Let me heal this. Let me look at this belief. So in the work I do when I'm working with, I'm a multidimensional ascension coach. So when I work with people, we really start picking these things apart and looking at what are these different beliefs? What are the things I may or may not be aware of that I am believing, thinking, doing, and carrying out, and not connecting the dots to seeing how it is affecting my ability to be successful or not, right? And then there's this whole thing about doing the work. Now here they talk about, dreaming and praying. Yes, dreaming is very good, very important. Visualizing, moving, know what I'm saying, moving to manifest, not working to manifest, because working, I feel like a lot of people hold lower vibing beliefs, energies, etc. around the word work or working. And again, that is something then to heal, to shift and change. But you know, it is telling us, okay, but it's about taking those positive action steps that you're being divinely guided to do, consistently working on something, working on your priorities. And this is what's going to make them flourish. This is what's going to give you this success. So I'm sure it feels like I'm harping, but it's because it amazes me. It never ceases to amaze me how much information we can get off of just one card or two cards or, you know, whatever. If we just take the time to really sit and read it. And that's not even looking at the imagery of a card. Now, if the imagery speaks to you and you get messages through the cards and their imagery, by all means, check that out as well. Pause it, zoom in, see what it, you know, what are you getting from that? There are times where my eyes are really drawn to something within the images that it's like, oh, okay, I'm supposed to, you know, relay this, or it would be aligned for me to relay this, or however you want to say it. I am seeing, and it's, I guess that's why they're telling me, like, I'm seeing these candles up here in the clouds. I don't know if you can tell that very well, that they are candles, but to me, it's almost like, yeah, burning the midnight oil. And for some of you, and she has a candle as well, and I feel like it's one talking about there is light to help you light the way. And sometimes we're responsible for lighting our own candle and keeping it, the flames fanned enough to keep them lively and burning without blowing them out and without letting them die away because they've suffocated. For those of you who feel that your flame has been suffocated, again, there are things that we can do to shift that for you. And if you're interested in working with me, you can check that out by contacting me at the Infused Transitions at gmail.com. And yeah, we can talk. I do free discovery calls. Okay. So just in those two cards alone, I think you've got a lot of information, a lot of steps you can take to see where you are and where do you want to go and how do I start cleaning up my energy and my beliefs, my vibrations around all of this stuff. My willingness to do the work. Like, I can fantasize all I want, but if I'm not willing to do anything for it, well, then don't be upset when nothing materializes. And sometimes the work can be this kind of stuff where it's, you know, things that we can see, like being organized and, you know, okay, I've cleared out this space and I've dressed up this and I've, you know, sorted through that and blah, 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 blah. But then there's also that energetic stuff that we maybe can't see in a tangible sense, but more of a sensing or a feeling. So, and it all needs to be cleaned up. It's all part of the process. All right, what else? What else? It's like a few cards that they want to come out, but then they go back. So let's see. Sometimes it takes a while. All right. They're drawing my eye over to this one now. So I think they're telling me, and that's one of the things I love about readings. Energies can shift in throughout the reading. Just like I said at the beginning, right? You know, it's like, okay, I've pulled these cards. These are what we're going to use. Some, maybe all, maybe none, right? Maybe they'll end up having me draw something completely different because every given moment, things can shift. And yeah, it's just interesting. Okay, what do we got? What do we got? What else do you want to share here or bring to our attention? Thank you. So this one was basically in reverse, and it says, well taken care of, living the good lifestyle, luxurious pleasures. And it would make sense that this was in reverse because, again, if we're not willing to do the work, then we're not going to reap those rewards. It will be reversed. So if you're wanting to see these things come to fruition, right, it's going to require doing the work. I guess I should do it this way so that you can remember like which ones came out in reverse. Okay. So it's interesting here. Police came out on top of work from home. So we got police, and it says law enforcement, officer, detective, FBI, CIA. Now, before anybody goes getting all freaked out, yes, this could be talking about something happening, someone's doing something dishonest, or maybe they know something that someone else is doing that is dishonest. But it may be something as to that it's maybe having some sort of effect on your money. I'm hoping you're not the one who is being dishonest, but you know, if it's that you're in an environment and someone is being dishonest, or you're suspecting that, whatever the case may be, you know, I would say leave the investigating stuff to the authorities, but be aware of that. And it's interesting because out underneath that came work from home, be your own boss in the comfort of your own home, convenient hours, and your piece of sanity. And so for some of you, maybe you're not in a very good working environment or work situation, because we're seeing this show up, and they're saying, but you have an option here. You can you can look for work to work from home. You can be a freelancer. Maybe the place you work for, that's hard to say. Every place is different, but maybe the place you work for and the job you do might allow for you to be able to work from home so that you can be away from that environment. I mean, honestly, I would say if there's things like that going on that are shady, yeah, I would be wanting to distance myself from that right away. So I would be immediately looking for opportunities to work from home, and switch jobs, whether that is I'm working for myself as a freelancer, or I'm just working for a very different company, or a different company that does similar work, you know, whatever the case may be that fits for you. Interesting to note that on the bottom of the deck here was honesty before I picked it up. Oh, where is it? Uh-oh, sorry. I don't know if I pulled that. We have flexibility. Yeah, see, being flexible. Be flexible. Flexible in all of this organization and doing the work stuff. Flexible in, you know, maybe it's time to go from this to working from home. Being flexible, seeing the bigger picture. Okay. I am flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambition. See, you know, maybe this, you know, whatever your dream is something that's maybe going to take a while, to, you know, get your ducks in a row and to get things moving and, you know, build up whatever is needed for whatever you're wanting to do. But you can still work from home, either for a company or as a freelancer while you're doing something else. But this is a very, I think, you know, again, it's so in alignment with the reading. I am flexible and adaptable to change while I pursue my ambitions. So I love that one. And as I was saying, honesty, when the deck was over here before I picked it up, honesty was the card that was showing itself. Yeah, it's a lot, but okay. All right, so first one out, we have patience. Okay. I am patient, persistent, and disciplined in pursuing my goals. So again, we're looking here at success, working from home, being flexible, and doing the work. And I would say too, I feel like maybe for some of you, there's an impatience around the work. It's like, well, I did this and nothing changed. You know, and I did that and nothing changed. And trust me, I I'm going to share this about myself, guys. I have 5 different things within my astrological chart that are all Aries. In addition to that, and this might not mean anything to you guys, but in some of the work I do, it's like, let's discover what are your T3s, as I call them. And my first one is power. I am a power soul, and power souls, they're about going, doing, and very much that fire energy. So you put that with these 5 different characteristics, planets, things in my chart that are all Aries, which again are fire, doing, moving, going, being. Patience is not a natural thing for me. It is something I really have to work at, and I have to work at it and be conscious of it most of the time. I'm getting better. I have gotten way better, but it doesn't mean that it's not something that I have to be aware of and be diligent with, because I can let my impatience just like that. And it's like, oh, no, pull it back in. Patience. It's all good. It's all okay, right? And again, I would put patience, persistence, discipline, and pursuing goals in with this whole thing that we talked about tuning into yourself. What do you think and feel about these specific words individually? Do one at a time. What comes to your mind? What is it that you write down that you're just writing whatever comes to mind? Is it a word? Is it a remembrance of something that you experienced? Is it, and sometimes people will get the grounded, do the grounding, the breathing, the connecting, and all of that, and they're not getting anything. And it's like, that's okay. Then switch to, again, using multiple sources. And I cannot emphasize enough, using various search engines, including ones that do not censor what is allowed to come out for a definition. And I would even say go old school. If you can find a old school printed date for a dictionary and thesaurus, use those to get the definitions. And using these multiple resources, I think, are very helpful, especially when we aren't getting something that comes to us right away in our mind. Because sometimes we can read 2, 3, 4, 5, and and then we just read through them until we find that one that it's like it stands out. It grabs our attention in some way, shape, or form. And then it's like, that's the one that resonates with me. That's it. That's the one. So I would just suggest for you to add these words to the words here from this first card to see what resonates for you around these words. Are these challenge words, if you will, right? Then we have generosity. Money is positive energy. Lady, stop. Money is positive energy, and it allows me to be generous to others. And this one too, again, add the word. And I say that because many times we feel like, oh, I would love to be generous, but I simply cannot afford to do that. Trust me, I understand that. There have been plenty of times I have been down to quite literally my last $5. And, I knew I wanted to be generous with someone, but I didn't have a lot to be generous with. And here's my thing. Buying them, spend $1 and buy them a water or something is just if not more precious and more generous than someone who has, no worries about money, and they go buy that same person a bottle of water because it's that last bit that you have, and yet you're still willing to share it, right? That speaks to a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul, high vibrations, high energies. This is what we put out in the world. This is what we're going to call into us. So I understand, and it doesn't have to be money. Sometimes, even if we don't have the money to go buy them a water, you know what? Maybe we can offer them something else that it could be just as generous or more so, or needed more in that moment, or whatever the case may be. The next thing we have is a motivation, which makes sense with this do the work, which is out of balance. Motivation. I am motivated, and motivated people help me to improve my finances. Again, using the word motivation. It's all right, lady, quiet. Sorry, we've got a dog out here that is going crazy. I would put motivated and motivation in your words, and I would also look at the phrase, I am motivated. Am I motivated? If I'm not motivated, why? What does motivation mean to me? What does being motivated mean to me? Because those can be two very different things. I would also say putting out there, healing up anything around that, but then putting out there, I'm calling in motivated people to help me, to help improve my finances. People who have that wisdom and knowledge, people who are going to be my best cheerleaders, people who are wise and knowledgeable about how I can do this, looking for coaching, looking for whatever, financial advisors, whatever that is for you. This is not me. I am not a professional in those things or anything like that. So, that's my disclaimer. I'm just saying, if you need things like that, or you might think it might be helpful, look for someone who maybe does free consultations, or, just a discovery call, or look into and do the research, do the legwork, and get that support and help you need to help you to work for you. You know what I mean? And I can't emphasize enough to you guys, like in my work, how much belief plays a big role. Belief really plays a big role. Okay, are we going anyway? They're saying no. This is it, guys. This is the reading. These are the steps. This is the information. I really, really hope you found this reading helpful, and I've given you the steps. I've shown you what are some of the challenges, what's out of sync, out of balance, ways in which to help you improve that, things to be aware of, and how you can shift that. But yeah, so I hope you found this helpful. Please, if you feel aligned, I would love that thumbs up. That really makes a difference on YouTube here with the algorithms that they do and what videos they bring up more in the searches, or however you want to word that. Like, subscribe, share, hit that notification bell. All of these things really, really help the channel, which help us to help each other and help us to help others by getting the word out there, and others who may be able to use these messages just as much or more than each other. So anyways, guys, thank you so much. I'm so glad you were here. Thanks again. And until next